Hello friends, how are you all? I am Janvi here. I hope you all are fit as a fiddle and doing great in your life. Our today topic for video is the science of how habits work. In this video, we are going to learn what is the science behind our habit and how that works. So in this video, we are going to learn about 4 simple steps which leads our habit. Through that, we will also got to know that how we can conquer our bad habit and build up new good habits. So first let me tell you what are those steps. First cue, second craving, third response, and fourth final one is reward. Okay, so first is cue. Cue is basically which triggers our mind to do something. Suppose just take an example of our phone. When our phone buzzes, so that triggers in our mind that we have to check a phone. Okay, so cue leads craving. So then we have a craving to check the message that who has messaged me and all those things. Okay, and then we respond, then we just pick up the phone and response. Then after that we got a reward. That after all this process, cue, craving, response, we got a reward. Means in the case of phone, we got satisfaction and we got yes, somebody had messaged me and whatever, so we got that satisfaction, that is our reward. So only these are the 4 simple steps which leads our habits. So now let's start and let's learn that what is all about this, okay, in the deep. So first, the process of building a habit can be divided into 4 simple steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. Breaking it down into these fundamental parts can help us understand what a habit is, how it works, and how to improve it. Okay, so now let's move. These 4 step pattern is the backbone of every habit, and your brain runs through these steps in the same order each time. Okay, so excepted these 4 habits, there is nothing which leads our habit. There are only these 4 steps which leads our habit, and that habit could be anything. First, now let's talk about first one, cue. First, there is a cue. The cue triggers your brain to intimate a behavior. It is a bit of information that predict a reward. Our prehistoric ancestors were paying attention to cue that signaled the location of primary rewards like food, water, and sex. Today, we spend most of our time learning cues that predict secondary reward like money and fame, power and status, praise and approval, love and friendship, or sense of personal satisfaction. Of course, this pursuit also indirectly improve our odds of survival and reproduction, which is the deeper motive behind everything we do. Okay, so cue basically leads our habit, and this is the first steps. Okay, our ancestors were using this cue for getting food, shelter, and having sex. These were the things for which they were using cues. Okay, now let's move. Your mind is secondary analyzing your internal and external environment for hint of where reward are located, because the cue is the first indication that we are close to a reward. It naturally leads to a craving. Okay, as I said that cue is the first step which lead craving, and for craving we do what? Cravings are the second steps, and they are the motivational force behind every habit. Without some level of motivation or desire, without craving a change, we have no reason to act. What you crave is not the habit itself, but the change in state it delivers. You don't crave smoking a cigarette, you crave the feeling of relief it provides. You are not motivated by brushing your teeth, but rather by the feeling of a clean mouth. You don't want to turn on the television, you want to entertain. Every craving is linked to a desire to change your internal state. This is an important point that we will discuss in a detail. detail later. Okay, so craving is just a second stage of our habit which leads our desire. If we have a desire for anything, if we have a desire for shoot, so we crave for that. If we are in a market and we see any suits, so we crave for that we want that, and reason behind that, we if we will have that, so we will get a relief. Craving differ from person to person. In theory, any piece of information could trigger a craving, but in practice, people are not motivated by the same cue. For a gambler, the sound of a slot machine can be potent trigger that spark an intense wave of desire. For someone who rarely gamblers, the jingles and crimes of the casino are just background noise. Cues are meaningless until they are interrupted. The thought, feeling, and emotion of observer are what transform a cue into a craving. Okay, so until or unless we don't have any desire for anything, so that cue will not impact us. But if we have a emotion, feeling, and attachment for that thing, so we will, if we will have a cue for related things, so we will start having craving. Okay, so that is all about cue and craving, and cue and craving is uh, connected to each other. Okay, once there will be a cue, then we will have a craving for doing that thing. Okay, and once we have a craving, then we will respond, which we are going to see in the our third step. The third step is the response. The response is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of a thought or an action. Whether response occur depends on how motivated you are and how much friction is associated with the behavior. If a particular action requires more physical or mental efforts than you are willing to expend, then you would not do it. Your response also depends on your ability. It sounds simple, but a habit can occur only if you are capable of doing it. If you want dunk a basketball but can't jump high enough to reach the hoop, well, you are out of luck. Finally, the response delivers a reward. Reward are the end goal of every habit. The cue is about noticing the reward. The craving is about wanting the reward. The response is about obtaining the reward. We chase reward because they serve two purpose. They satisfy us, they teach us. Okay, so four states are interconnected. Okay, and all three primary stages, cue, craving, and response, are connected to reward, because we work for reward. If we have any cue, so we start craving, and then we respond because we have a we want that reward which uh, we are going to get in the end. Okay, so this how our habit work. The first purpose of reward is to satisfy your craving. Yes, reward provide benefits on their own. Food and water deliver the energy you need to survive. Getting a promotion bring more money and respect. Getting in shape improves your health and your dating prospects. But the more immediate benefit is that rewards satisfy your craving to eat or to gain status or to gain approval, at least for a moment. Reward deliver contentment and relief from craving. So we want reward because we want to satisfy our craving. So, take an example of next thing, that if uh, uh, we want a fit body, so we want that we have to do some of the exercise, so that for that we have a cue, that we have to go for running and exercise. Then once we go there, so we have a craving, let's do this thing, because at the end we are going to get a fitness, and then we respond, we do actual exercise and whatever our activity is. So all are connected to a reward, and once we have done, so we get reward, then our craving, we can satisfy our craving, and in that loop our habit work for anything. If we don't get rewards, so after that we stop to do that work. Second, reward teach us which action are worth remembering in the future. Your brain is a reward dictator. As you go about your life, your sensory nervous system is continually monitoring which action satisfy your desire and deliver pleasure. Feeling of pleasure and disappointment are part of the feedback mechanism that helps your brain distinguish useful action from useless ones. Rewards close the feedback loop and complete the habit circle. Okay, so our uh, our reward is set up in the way that if we got a good reward, so we do work, and for that reward our mind remember those things for future also, that if we do this work, so we get a good result, so we do that work again and again, and that habit circle begin. If a behavior is insufficient in any of four stages, it will not become a habit. Eliminate the cue and your habit will never start. Reduce the craving, you wouldn't experience enough motivation to act. Make the behavior difficult and you would not be able to do it. And if the reward fails to satisfy your desire, then you will have no reason to do it again in the future. Without the first three steps, a behavior will not occur. Without all four, a behavior will not be repeated. So all four are very very important, because if you will skip any one, so you are not going to form any habit. If you skip skip cue, so you will not start craving. If you will not start craving, so how you can take any action for do a response? So all in that way all are interconnected, and for last our goal is our reward. All these primary three steps we do for our goal, and our goal is to satisfy our craving and to get pleasure. So this how our habit work, and if once we get a good amount of result, so it become our habit, and we do on daily basis, and it become our habits, then we call it is my habit. But in the starting we have to form this, and it could be a bad one also, because in the bad ones also we get a satisfaction pleasure and be satisfied our craving. So this how any habit could be formed. So I hope you got it in the very systematic method that how our habit work and what is the science behind our habit. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy it, and you are also building a habit to reading, and with the passage of time you will able to build up this habit, and you will able to sustain also. Thank you so much, have a good day, bye bye.